Hi, I'm Allison, a mom from Wigan, and I want to tell you a story. It's really our family story. It's all about my son Jack and about how we learned to, how we learned to really listen to him. So it all started with this. My son Jack used to bang his head against doors and floors and walls, pretty much anything solid he could find. As a parent, seeing that, it's just terrifying. Your first instinct is just, it's pure panic. And so that was the only question that mattered. It was running through my head all day, every day. How do you stop it? How do I keep my son safe? It's the first thing everyone asks, right? But here's the thing. We eventually learned, and believe me, it was the hard way, that we were asking the completely wrong question. Focusing on just how to stop it, it was like putting a plaster on a wound that needed stitches. So to really get what was going on, let me take you back to the beginning. This is our story, and it all starts with my son Jack. All the advice we got from the professionals was about one thing: safety, which, of course, makes sense. We were told to line the walls with cushions, to have him wear a thick woolly hat all the time, even inside. We were even told to try and just ignore the behavior, which, let me tell you, is probably one of the hardest things a parent can ever be asked to do. So we were doing everything we were told to do. We were following all the expert advice. But we were so zoomed in on the action itself, we just couldn't see the bigger picture. We were treating the symptom, not the actual cause. And you know what happened? Yeah, the headbanging, it did go down a bit. But it solved nothing. Jack just found a different way to get that same need met. He started banging his hands on the furniture again and again. See, we had tried so hard to change the behavior that we'd completely missed the point. The need for that behavior, it was still there, as strong as ever. And that was our light bulb moment. The behavior changed, sure, but the reason behind it hadn't moved an inch. All we were doing was blocking one of his ways of communication, not actually helping him. Realizing that, it changed absolutely everything for us. It was like we'd been trying to solve a puzzle without even looking at the picture on the box. So we stopped obsessing over the how, and we finally started asking about the why. We basically had to learn a whole new language. And the very first rule in this new language is that the exact same behavior can mean completely different things. It all depends on the moment. For Jack, the headbanging wasn't just one thing. Sometimes it was him trying to avoid something, a way of saying, no, I don't want to do that. Other times, he was asking for something, like his favorite toy. It could mean he was upset or frustrated, or just trying to tell us something really important that he didn't have the words for. It was his voice. The second we started to understand the why, the second we saw the behavior for what it was, communication, our whole approach just flipped. We went from trying to stop him to figuring out how to support him. And honestly, that made all the difference in the world. Now, this big realization, it wasn't some magic wand. Real change never is it? It was actually the beginning of a whole new journey for us as a family, a commitment to learn and grow in a totally new way. And I just threw myself into it. I mean, I read every book, every article I could find. I signed up for training courses, local workshops, anything. And so importantly, we connected with other parents and support groups, people who they just got it, And bit by bit, we started using what we were learning to help Jack. Look, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, I'm just a mom, but I dove deep into understanding autism, speech and language, even behavioral psychology. I just wanted to understand how my son's mind works so I could understand his world a little better. And all that learning, all those late nights reading, it wasn't about becoming an expert. It was about finding a new way to see my son, a new lens that finally let us see what his behavior was truly communicating. So this is the main takeaway. We just flipped the question. We totally stopped asking, how do we stop it? And instead, every single time we started asking, okay, what is he trying to tell us right now? I'm not going to sit here and tell you that life magically got easier. It didn't. The challenges are still there, for sure. But our frustration, that's been replaced with curiosity. And our fear has been replaced by understanding. The connection we have with our son now it's just so much deeper than I ever imagined it could be. So I'll just leave you with this. The next time you see a behavior that you don't understand, in a child or, hey, even in an adult, just take a breath.
And instead of thinking about how to make it stop, just ask yourself, what is it really trying to say?